Okay, let's talk about HTML forms. They seem so simple, right? But honestly, they're a total minefield. It's where so many projects and, frankly, a lot of junior developer careers get stuck. Today, we're going to fix all that. Let's get into how you can code forms like a real senior engineer. So let me ask you a question. Is your form's user experience absolutely tanking your conversion rate? You've got this amazing site, everything looks great, but are people just giving up at the very last step? Yeah, 9 times out of 10, the culprit is the form itself. All right, I'm just going to say it. If you are using placeholders instead of labels, you are fundamentally building broken software. I know that sounds harsh, but it's one of the biggest, most common mistakes out there. The good news? We're going to fix it for good right now. And that brings us to our first big idea, what I call the placeholder fallacy. This is the mistake that almost every junior dev makes, and it has a massive negative impact on usability. So what even is a placeholder? Well, you know that little hint text you see inside a form field? The keyword you have to remember here is temporary, because the second a user clicks in and starts typing, poof, it's gone. And this is what causes that moment of pure frustration we've all had. You start filling out a form, you get distracted for a second, you look back, and all the context is gone. You're left wondering, wait, was this for my first name or my full name? It's just a terrible experience. So if placeholders are the villain here, what's the hero? It's all about the label input connection. Seriously, this is the absolute foundation of building good forms. This is non-negotiable if you want to be taken seriously as a developer. A label is a permanent caption for a form field, and when you connect it correctly to an input, it does something magical. The text itself becomes a big, clickable target that focuses the field. For usability and especially accessibility, this is a total game changer. Now, there are two and only two professional ways to do this. First, you can just wrap the input tag directly inside the label tag. Simple. Or, second, you can link them. You give the input an ID, and then you give the label a for attribute that matches that ID. Both are totally correct. Just pick one and stick with it. Okay, so you've got your labels locked in. You're already ahead of the curve. But now, let's level up. A huge part of senior level thinking is just letting the browser do the heavy lifting for you. And you do that by choosing the right input type. For instance, when you use type equals email, you're not just being descriptive. You're telling mobile browsers to show a keyboard with the @ symbol right there. It even gives you some basic free validation. It's such a small thing, but it's a huge win for the user experience. And it's the exact same deal with type equals tel for telephone numbers. Boom. The numeric keypad just pops up on mobile. You are literally removing friction and making it faster and easier for people to fill out your form. It's a total no-brainer. And of course, typing type equals password. The browser already knows the drill. It automatically hides the characters as you type them. It's a basic security feature that you get completely for free just by using the right tag. All of this stuff, labels, input types, it all leads to the one thing that truly separates a junior from a senior developer: accessibility. This isn't about some fancy framework. It's about building websites that work for everyone. And trust me, mastering this is a huge deal for your career. I want you to just imagine for a second that you're navigating a website with your eyes closed. This is what a person using a screen reader hears on a form with no labels. Edit text, button. It's completely meaningless gibberish. The form is unusable. This is exactly what happens when you skip the fundamentals. So a junior developer might grab a div, throw some JavaScript on it, and call it a button. But guess what? A screen reader has no idea what it is. You can't tab to it with a keyboard. It's basically invisible. A senior developer uses a button because it's the right tool for the job. It just works for everyone right out of the box. And please, whatever you do, do not kill the focus outline. You know that blue ring that shows up when you tab through a form? That's not a bug to be fixed with CSS. It's a critical feature. It's how people who use keyboards know where they are on the page. Removing it without providing a better alternative makes your site unusable. All right, let's get down to it. Let's talk about the code that actually gets you hired. These are the little details that seniors never forget, and they show an interviewer that you really understand how the web is supposed to work. There are two invisible attributes that are so important: name and value. Look, if an input doesn't have a name attribute, its data literally never gets sent to the server. The form will fail silently. And for radio buttons or checkboxes, if you forget the value attribute, the server just gets a useless piece of text that says on. You have to give it a meaningful value, like medium_pizza, so the data actually makes sense. So why are we geeking out about all these little details? Because it's estimated that 90% of junior developers make these exact same mistakes. If you can master these concepts, you immediately put yourself in the top 10% of candidates for any web development job, instantly. Because here's the bottom line. Building accessible semantic forms isn't some extra credit assignment or a nice-to-have feature. It is the absolute mark of a professional engineer. It proves you know how to build robust, inclusive software that works for everyone. So, are you ready to level up? Are you ready to stop making these rookie mistakes and start building forms like a pro? If you want more practical advice on how to code like a senior engineer, make sure you subscribe.